was for your movie bia aha e the line was not TV so or YouTube. Me din e the line was ya na na aha e line was not TV so YouTube. Me sure and then no first time subscribe to channel no like share na fa comment there. Egu asema na ye be there ye be kinkan ma into ko YouTuber na wa ko search button na wa type line was not TV wo ho. Uhu pe na wa mia subscribe button no so na wa turn on notification on. Nti de bibia ye de bibia betum bia no una be first person outside there Osabeka. Ewie ya be PM e wo Alisa Hotel na ye ni one a prominent football administrator any communicator. E de ba twetwe ko. Wo hwe me nsa benkum so a gentleman bi ejina me nchen ye friend Sheikh Tophic. Na Sheikh Tophic here one of the communication senior communications manager Ghana Football Association as a GFA hodum e ba no obi o kasama FA na odi no di mu akote na ewie ye pese ye ni bon komo kakra na ebisa ne se inyama muti sen football sen na juma muti sen ye twa ho sima ye ba na e interview na ye a share so like I was saying earlier when it comes to acts of hooliganism the part on the FA, do you think they've done enough to make sure issues like that do come down?
Well, Senana may come from the start. The sporting integrity aspects of the game. FNO is responsible for the organization of football in the country. And as every organizer says, organizing event, you have to ensure safety and security.
Yeah.
And you put in measures to ensure there is safety and security. That has been done by the FA. The FA says that if you are Kotoko, you are playing harsh, it's category A game. The number of police personnel at the venue in uniform should be maybe 300 before the game kicks off. If you are a Haas or a Kotoko playing against a King Faisal or BYF Academy, it's seen as a category B game or a category C game. The number of policemen at the stadium should be maybe 120 or 80.
Okay.
There are regulations. In this Amekobo match, no, now we do venue at the pre-match, and you will be a friend of pre-match technical meeting. It's done 10 a.m. every Monday. In the pre-match technical meeting, you about discussing the number of policemen on Beba, ambulance, Beba, fire service, and all those things. Your core discussion, you dear to say security personnel 100 Nebeba. We have all agreed. You be do stadium now, you start a match at 3 o'clock now. Security personnel are 30. You have every right as a club to say, I mean, more. It's a number not do 100.
Okay.
So if you accept to go ahead and play and something happens, one I don't want to go to danger. You understand? So a Tremana I come once. Mekai has to focus on Treman. It was agreed that 120 policemen in uniform will be there at the pre-match. It do see a static game no. Now policemen are more 90. House of Folk insisted says Oman do 120 game no more.
Okay.
They had to call reinforcement and ensure the policemen there at 120 before the game went on.
And then Sheikh, and then would you say Obeka say ebia omo bu mini no mo yesa na say they feel say once at least the number is not even up to, but once you have security personnel there, the game should continue. Do you think there negligence on the side of the teams and I say just way of let's play the game, let's go.
Okay,
for the
so
sake of 3 points.
Both. Sometimes I am clubs know who say 120 and 90 say you know, so we can go on with it. And sometimes the clubs will even tell you, oh Mumbo, the remaining 30 is on the way coming. Over to another game you no member. And usually at the lower levels, that's what they do. If you need about 20 police officials at the stadium, who was a 5 aba? They say 15 nam cancel but do the most start your mobile. Over to a boy. So if anything happens, it has happened, you know, when you didn't insist on the right thing to be done. So it is always important, say, clubs now we involved, will insist on the right thing to be done. Because your safety is not guaranteed when the number is not up there. You get it? So it's very important. These are the regulations. And you must always ensure the regulations are working to perfection.
And they know these regulations.
They know. All the clubs know it. They know the category of games that they are playing and they know the number of policemen who are supposed to be at the stadium. You must insist on all these things. You get it? Beyond this, I feel that, yes, there will be a platform where you can have all the 120 police officials at the stadium, but still things will go on. This is when you have the numbers, but the the will to do the right thing is also another thing. Because your games are wobɛhu sɛ security officials ɛwɔ hɔ ne yɛ sɛbisɛbi yɛbu obi yɛ attack obi, but it's like they don't care. So far as you are there, I feel that you should be able to effect arrest.
Because yesterday,
The FA is not an arresting institution. The FA is only a regulator. And I'm for say we only regulate it. You be game 90 minutes. Referee nebedi. Referee be ekodi. How many referees should be there? Police officials say also what are they supposed to do at the venue is not the responsibility of the FA, it's the responsibility of the commander in charge.
Okay.
Into Mako do we sebi yeah we will be asun. You don't expect the FA to come and tell the police officials that cheno answer no watch. You get it? So the energy, the desire to ensure the right thing is done is also very, very key.
Very key. True. Sheikh, what is the next step for the FA? I mean, it has always been sanctions and bans and fines. Does the FA have plans to, I mean, go beyond these types of punishment for clubs?
Okay, so let me ask a question. What would you profess, or what would you prescribe as a better punishment for clubs, apart from what the FA is doing already? The FA does not have the power to do any other thing apart from what I have said. Yes, if a venue is declared unsafe, the FA can ban it. Yeah, and the FA does that. But the FA is not a prison to arrest people and put them there. We can't do it. We don't have that power. That power resides with the security forces that we have in the country. You understand? See, I'm in interview. We are speaking. Should we resort to fisticuffs? Throwing punches at each other right now? The police will not say that. They were arrested because we are disturbing public peace. Who knows the things that we can destroy around? You understand? The police can arrest us. How come when somebody goes to the stadium and that's worse, the person is not arrested? You get it? Yes, that's the question. So, as for the FA will put in all the regulations. Munye A, munye B, munye C, munye D, munye E, for the clubs to do. But at the end of the day, the enforcement is key.
And that should be done by the clubs.
That should be done by the clubs, and the security forces who go to the stadium. Because when you go to the stadium and people are fighting and you don't arrest them, how can the FA come and arrest them when the FA is not an arresting institution? But we can't do that.
Sometimes you go to match venues and then these security personnel are even in the stands watching the game. So it goes beyond that. I mean, sometimes they even enjoy the game more than we, the fans, who are there to also have it.
So it's something that we all need to look at holistically. At least safety and security is important. But before we are able to execute that, before we are able to ensure safety and security, the personnel working on safety and security must do their work to perfection.
True. And collectively, we must all stakeholders must come on board and then make sure
Absolutely
it goes well. Sheikh, I mean, every Ghanaian is worried. I mean, football enthusiasts, the media, I mean, anybody who loves football is worried that the league doesn't have a sponsor. I mean, we are done with the first round. We are still ongoing with the second round, 2 games into the second round, and we still don't have a sponsor. It's a very big challenge, very big worry for everybody. How soon should the FA announce a new sponsor, or we are going to end the league without having a sponsor for the 2024-2025 season?
Okay, so to be honest with you, what I know is that the FA is working on some sponsors to get them on board. But as to how a deal can be agreed, I cannot tell. As to when a deal can be agreed, I cannot tell. But I know the FA is working on something. But what I can say, and it's as clubs, And as people within the football fraternity, we need to do things to make our game much more attractive. It must not be 3 points at all
Of
costs.
course.
If my opponent is better than me, let him beat me. If I'm better than him, I beat him and I go. But when it becomes 3 points at all costs, you see that clubs will be employing all foul means to get the points. And that pushes a lot of, prospective sponsors away. For example, what has happened in
Yes,
Sotre? You think brands will be ready to
no,
associate?
no,
It
no.
becomes difficult.
Very, very difficult.
So the same clubs who are crying for sponsorship are the same clubs who are driving the sponsors away based on some of the things that they do at their match venues. So it's very, very, very difficult. It's not to say that the FA is doing nothing. The FA is doing a lot to ensure that we are able to help the clubs. And Linus, adeɛ baako a ɛwɔ sɛ mo media, the mainstream media should also be telling the clubs is how they also are able to generate sponsors for themselves. It's extremely important.
Yeah.
Oko England as Manchester United, Man City, Chelsea, and the rest. Or one casa personal sponsors or one sika omunyano, and also see what they get from the Premier League.
Yeah.
So they are using the Premier League status as a platform to attract their sponsors. In Ghana, how many of our clubs are doing that?
No.
A few. Mediama, Asante Kotoko, maybe House of Folk, maybe Adriana Stars. You understand? A few. But the moment the platform is created, that you have the license to play in the Ghana Premier League, it is enough for you to be able to convince any sponsor that, look, maybe a Premier League club, I can offer you A, B, C, D when you sponsor me. So come on board. I'll give you the visibility, I'll give you the publicity, everything that you need as a club.
But Sheikh,
As
some
an
of these
organization.
clubs too, they don't have a marketing and sponsorship department where they can go out there and probably look out for sponsors as well.
Okay, so there's something that we call club licensing. The club licensing is a regulatory strategy a boa clubs not to get better. So, for instance, ubenya what we call the phases of the licensing.
Okay.
There's a certain period where the licensing management will be focused on the playing pitches. There's a particular time that they will be focusing on the legal aspect of the team's development. There will be a time that they will be focusing on the administrative aspect. And all these things are done gradually.
Okay.
When this FA came to power from 2019, on my club's computers, gave them internet facilities, printers, and all those things, just to ensure that they have been able to set up a secretariat that is working. That was a start.
Yeah.
You understand? And then you also build on that. Look, the truth is that with regards to accounting and all the accounting principles, if you check the books of the clubs that they submit to the FA every season, perfect.
Wow.
Yes, every club. Per the requirements, the books that they submit, the accounting books are almost perfect. It means they are doing the right thing.
Okay.
And that is the only document that you can also base on to take a decision for them. They are doing the right thing.
Okay. Okay.
But then it is up to the clubs themselves to realize that we must not always be sleeping and relying on the FA to get us everything.
Exactly.
We must also be working on our own to get a few things on board to get our work done, which is very, very, very important. In Tigoya, a few clubs, I mentioned Mediama.
Yeah.
Mediama have gold face. They have the Takwa gold people and a whole lot of companies, partnering them. And that is cushioning them. Look at how professional they look.
Yeah.
You understand? Look at the coverage and the pictures and the visuals that Mediama gives out. They have invested because they are able to speak to a few companies to get them on board, and they are making money. And that is pushing them. What about the other clubs? What are they also doing? Is it business as usual? Or let's wait for the FA to bring the sponsors? When you do that, it becomes difficult because Sisi Amenoka say people do not even know that at the Division 1 level, it's virtually a holiday for club owners. The FA is giving them sponsorship package. Yes,
Access Bank.
80,000 cedis from Access Bank every season.
Wow.
Apart from the 80,000 cedis, clubs are giving 15,000 cedis worth of fuel.
Okay.
Now clubs are giving buses if they finish in the top 3 of the zones.
Okay.
So you have a bus, you have 80,000 from FA, you have 15,000 cedis worth of fuel. You have been given 30 pair of boots. You've been given footballs.
So the person modi feeding to count more.
That's why you have been given 80,000.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So the rest is for you to also take care of the conditions of the players for them
Players.
to play well for you. That's it. And then you also use the platform to get more. If and I baby,
The
you also explore more and add up to what the FA is doing. But it should not be there.
entire role of the
Yes,
FA
it
to
should
do
not be
everything.
over reliance on the FA for the FA to do everything.
It
When
is
you do that, it makes the job very difficult.
it is just like a young boy who is done with senior high school or probably university. You have to go out there and then start fishing for yourself as
Absolutely,
well.
absolutely.
Sheikh, let's look at this. We have a new change in government, and the previous government had a very good relationship with the FA. How is the FA ready to, work with this current government, especially when we have a new sports minister in the name of Mr. Kofi Adam? That is, if it's approved by the parliament
The
in the
the
coming days.
the FA is an association in Ghana, and the FA does not go beyond the laws of Ghana. You understand? So whatever the country decides to do in the area of the appointment of the sports minister or the direction they want sports to go in the country, the FA only controls to it. The FA only regulates, organizes, and regulates football in the country. FA don't organize football, we regulate football. That's it. That's our job. That's what we do. So if the ministry wants us to do things in a different way, based on what they think will be able to help the development of the game, they bring it on board. The FA sees and it is feasible, we go ahead. You understand? The FA is always ready to cooperate with anybody who becomes a sports minister.
Okay.
Trust me, anybody who is a sports minister, the FA is ready to kowtow and go with the person, no matter who the person is, provided it will help the development of football in the country. Adeɛ baako a nipa dodoɔ no ɛmma wɔn ani nkɔ ho ɛne sɛ, it is only football that is properly organized in this country from top to down than any other federation or association. The FA has district FAs, your original
Regional
FAs,
FAs.
and your national. District FAs, Ebo Coast, Division 3. Regional FAs, Ebo Division 2. They oversee the organization and the regulation of coast, Division 2, Division 3 in the regions. And then the FA, the national FA takes care of the Division 1, the Premier League, and then the national teams. And all these things are done. Look at all the other federations if they also have the same thing.
No, no,
Do you have athletics district FA?
no.
Do you have the regional?
No. They rely on inter schools and probably inter university
So the
games.
FA will play league at the coast level district, Division 3 district, Division 2 regional. You understand?
Yeah.
They'll play middle leagues and all those things before it comes to national. Do we see the same thing for the other
No.
federations? Where they play leagues district wise, they play league regional wise, and all those things. So when it comes to organization, the FA is the best. And so I always say, all the other federations should look at the FA and emulate their style. If you're able to do that, you control the numbers. The FA is controlling numbers because at the end of the day, at all levels, football is being played. But you don't get the other federations or the other sporting disciplines also
Doing
being
that.
done at all
Yeah.
levels.
Very true.
You get it?
Very true.
Aha. Nti, as for the structure of the FA, it is the best. And I have always advocated that other federations can pick it up and look at it
Look
and
at from
also
there.
try to emulate. And when you're able to do that, the ministry will see that you have numbers, you control numbers, and they always deal with numbers. So how you want to also control the FA, you will get them because at the end of the day, they see you have the numbers, just like the FA.
Very true.
That's how it works.
Sheikh, yeah, yeah, sure. You can't be saying. Few your president Kurt Okweku is on a Waffle Zombie president. Now, few days ago, or the two social media and the Facebook was Nyame Adom any opportunity to be on the ticket of the CAF executive committee, and which I think is very good because gradually, or climbing ladder, who knows, maybe in the next 2-3 years, maybe who knows, FIFA executive committee, which I think it will be very good for our game as well. How important is this to our development as a nation in terms of football?
Extremely important, because when you are part of the decision-making body, you are able to table the grievances of your region, of your association at the top level. And when decisions are taken, they are tilted or they tilt towards your side. You
Yeah.
understand? Yen take it for example, over U17, U20, both male and female, the qualification strategy to the African Cup of Nations is the WAFO,
Waffle.
where you have Nigeria, you have
Togo,
Togo, you
Burkina
have Cote
Faso.
d'Ivoire, you have Burkina Faso, and you have Ghana. And you are only selecting one for the African Cup of Nations. When all these big wigs are in there, at the end of the day, it will not help West Africa. It will give West Africa representation minimal. Meanwhile, when you read the history of juvenile football on the continent, it's been West African countries that have been dominating, even at the world level. The only country that have won the U20 World Cup before is Ghana, West Africa. Mali, West
Yeah,
Africa.
West Africa.
Cameroon, no more West Africa. We see no more Central Africa. But Cameroon, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire,
That's Nigeria too.
Nigeria. But the moment that you bought zonal qualification together, no, then qualify. It means you are denying Africa the opportunity of making it at the World Cup. You are limiting it.
Okay.
But this decision was taken because East Africa and then East
East
Africa
Africa.
and the Southern Africa had powers up there and they were able to influence the
Influence
decision.
NCC. Okay. Okay.
And yes, Anka first no qualification near born home and away basis. Yachi Uganda, home and away near Shania qualifier.
Qualify.
But now, Omubon or Muzon.
Amazon.
It's there Uganda, na Rwanda, na Kenya, na Tanzania, but
Tanzania.
me qualifier.
True.
Na West Africa, you deny baby.
Libre.
Na, but you need to be up there to influence the decision. This is just an example.
Okay.
So it's always important. When Kwesi Nyantakyi was the vice president of CAF and all CAF ESCO, as a FIFA council member, we saw the influence that Ghana football had. And we controlled a lot of things. We were able to take a lot of decisions that were positive for Ghana football. But because you are no more there, at least decisions will affect you. So Kurt going on the ESCO is highly positive for Ghana if he is eventually, elected on the ESCO of CAF. Because at the end of the day, he is directly involved in decision making now. Or ensure say yenso yasembe kudwam na niema ehia say be ye or Ghana and for that matter West Africa will be done. So
So,
it's very positive.
all unopposed there, sir. And I say
Oh
unopposed.
yes,
So it means that definitely he'll get the nod.
you can't trust elections.
Okay.
Um, in the Ghana football elections are here 2020, 2024. Kurt went unopposed.
Yeah.
He was not contested, but the election had to go on. And at the election, we saw
So
two clubs or one club voting no.
yeah.
So you cannot say oh I'm going over unopposed, so I'm sleeping. You will sleep and you get there and they will say no. So yes, unopposed, but still you need to work and ensure that the electorates will give you popular acclamation. They will vote for you massively to be on the committee.
Sheikh, yeah. Before I call your next segment, yeah, share. Few days ago, no, you reshuffle Kakribi, our Blasters technical team. No. Some of us were happy, some people were also not happy. But we shall list nearby now, close to almost 14 people, and people are complaining, say the number is too much. As one of the mouthpiece for the FA, no, how can you justify say the number up there, no, close to 14 people now? It was no, two kids managers, I think two video analysts, two assistant coaches, in addition to coach Otwadi. How can you justify it so that the normal Ghanaian will say, okay, fine, it is for a purpose, it's for a reason, so it's good for our game.
You see, first, every Ghanaian man understands the FA is there to take decisions in the best interest of Ghana. Lanos, take for instance, a Blasters lose game and me Mabusia for the matter. Me, how much more the GFA president?
He's very tough. He's extremely tough.
And you think that
He's
he will
very
take
tough.
decisions that will lead to failure for him to be
Yeah.
attacked and insulted? You
No,
think he will do that?
no. He won't do that.
So why do we always think, say, decisions that have been taken are not in the best interest of Ghana? When we fail, he is the first person to be insulted. He's the first person to be attacked. The FA suffers vilification and bad mouthing. So the decisions that are taken because we see them to be the best decisions for Ghana football. And after saying to me I'm qualified for AFCON, look at the decision the FA has taken. The management committee has been changed completely with new people and people that we think have that reputation to push us up there. There's been changes in the technical team to ensure it is strengthened and it gets better for us to achieve the target that we are looking for. What is the target? Qualify for the World Cup. Look, I am in Beshame compare, but if you have traveled with the Black Stars before to tournaments, usually I have other countries. I recall at one World Cup, I think was it the 2010 World Cup,
South Africa.
South Africa. Portugal were traveling with over 36 supporting staff.
Wow.
At the World Cup recently, Mami for 2022 at the example.
Qatar.
Morocco. Everybody was speaking about Morocco. They have made African proud, blah blah blah. Morocco had 23 video analysts. Wow. Yes. 23. Take it from me. And you can go and research and see it. 23 video analysts. Each player had one video analyst. Player back could be analyst back. One against one. These were analysts, so not assistant coaches. So you come to assistant coaches, you come to fitness trainers, you come to the head coach, you come to others of physiotherapists and all those things. Can you imagine the number? That is football. If you accept to play at the highest level, you need to do what the big boys do. You can't keep doing what you are doing always and expect to play like Brazil. You have to upgrade. You have to go up. And so the numbers may seem large in the eye of the ordinary Ghanaian, but that is how it is everywhere you go. In 2014, Cameroon qualified for the World Cup. Ibrahim Tanko was assistant coach for Cameroon. Check the technical staff at Cameroon at the World Cup. Check, you see it. So, yes, the numbers, we have to look at what each person brings on board.
Okay.
And how positive it becomes for the team. That is the only way we can get better. You understand? You look at the people, you look at the influence, you look at the quality that they are bringing on board, you look at their capacity and how it will influence the club, the national team. And that's the most important thing. As for the rest, yes, people will talk, people will say the numbers are huge and all those things. But at the end of the day, you have to look at what each person is bringing on board. In our local clubs, when you check the number of technical staff that El Ali have, they have 36. 36. Ghanaian club know that number. You can't normally share 4 and 5.
Somebody in there. It was so it
We,
pays
we,
off.
we don't exactly.
It pays off there.
We don't see that they are doing something. You can't normally share 4 5. Look at the numbers that they have. Yet the highest that a club has in this country is 10. Head coach, maybe 2 assistants, one fitness instructor, one goalkeeper trainer, one maybe equipment officer, medical team. You know, it's not adequate. But because in this community, the clubs manage with it. But if our clubs will be financially strong, they may take the numbers that El Ali is also taking. Go and check that of my Melody Sundowns. So if you want to be a big boy, you have to play
Play
like a big
along.
boy. You have to, be there. You have to also do what they do because you can't keep, doing what you are doing and then expect to be like Brazil or Argentina or France. It doesn't work like that.
Sheikh, you call blasters, you be do musu call ashe blasters. But before you be call honum, you be see honum be so 3-4 questions na e di interview na be. But the person me do we cut across na uma me info confirm say you true and say you true because according to sources, and especially yet see what pure from Kumasi say the new technical advisor will be replace you can say how do you call it? The small fair or blasters. That is a Winfred Scaffer.
Shefa.
Safer rather. Okay, thanks for the correction. You see, the salary $65,000. You as an insider or F, can you confirm say
And
it
a head
true?
coach Nankasa just say
Yes, 50,000.
head coach 50,000.
50,000.
Sarobu
And a
guy.
technical. I'm sure the sources no PPFM.
Ehu.
It's what insider
Ayan
then
okay.
person and then the
Ayan okay.
but it was
Ayan
for
okay.
Sheikh Tophic and then you come over line of Nati TV so YouTube. Me din e line of Sienu na the show and then first time I who channel area. Now I subscribe to channel no. Now I like, now I share, now the comment I then egwa say or a senior communications manager Emma the Ghana Football Association or your coach or your trained teacher and so that's also your communication specialist as well. And to see how the next segment Black Stars now the interview na be Sheikh, yes, if you need the blasters, chin any other national team. Is it true or is it not true?
Well, a relative. The biggest product that the FA has in this country is the Blasters.
But they are saying, say,
Is
they
that not the case?
very true. They
Okay.
invest more, they don't get results compared to the other national teams.
No, this is how it is. It's not about investing more. What are we investing? The plane tickets, the per diems,
Accommodation.
and accommodation. That's the investment. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, the Blasters is the biggest product of the FA when it comes to football. So it must always be up there. Why is it that when the U17 or U20 or Black Queens lose a game, people don't react the way they react when the Blasters lose a game?
Yeah.
So even to the average Ghanaian, the Blasters is the biggest. You call AFCON. Blasters failing to qualify from the group stage. Yeah, by demonstration and Koso Kroma.
Of course.
Even though I have my own reservations with regards to demonstration, because on my demonstration, on the cohort, your friend saying African Cup of
African Cup of
Nations, no,
Nations.
they were there. We saw what they did at the big zone to the team, which was highly unprofessional. Yeah, by Obianka, you understand?
Yeah.
There was a demonstration because Blasters and Mankwe, Black Queens and Timian qualified for the last AFCON. Yeah, demonstration.
The
U17 and Timian qualified for the last two, African
African
Cup
Cup
of
of Nations.
Nations. Has there been a demonstration?
No.
So, Omudia national teams.
Only national teams.
So, even to the average Ghanaian, the Blasters is the biggest. And so, the attention that they give to the Blasters is not the same as the attention that they give to the other national teams. Say, nay, Blasters started camping. Oba Alisa Hotel. Oba Jina Gate.
Fact. We have a content.
But Black Queens started camping. Alisa Hotel haya no musoba. They will come, they will start camping, start playing even friendly matches. Then nipa abaha maybe a team common through 5. Are they also not a national team?
Yeah.
Why are we not also giving them the same attention as we give to the Blasters?
They are saying say blasters the more scour. It's not attention
One of
compared
these
to
guys can call.
the biggest product of the FA team. Sky there.
In terms of SCA, the state and for that matter the sports ministry does not give money to anybody at the Blasters. Say the amount for who know Blasters this SCA or one Blasters or more SCA. Okay. Say a tournament and I go match. Ministry no Emma accountant every ministry eba
Eba.
Blasters camp ono mo ne da edidi
Okay.
edware eso eye bibia e wo camp ho
Okay.
the hotel crombe na ho no so da bi nti mu hia meko a na makoka kire no ye hia meko baako baako 8 wono ankasa be ko market na akoto meko na bremu na waje
Okay.
na receipt so oto meko no 1 cedi oto no 2 cedi oto no 3 cedi wo nim de wo hia ne de Meko or the Mekona Brew. And so, no, acquire accounts. So, money is not even given to the national team or given to anybody at the GFA when it comes to the management of the national teams. It is kind of whatever. They are buying and spending directly. They have the accountant who does everything. If you want banana, they will go and buy the banana and bring it to you. If you want chocolate, they will go and buy it and bring it to you. They will not give you the money to go and buy it because they need to take their receipts and everything per their procurement, regulations
Make accounts
to account for the whatever they are spending. So, inti, it's kind of one shahi.
so I say your black star because say you can't saying 3 years ago you call World Cup me saying I mean former and as an ex management committee member Alaji Gusa about out say each management member be a $100,000. So that
Okay,
Diana Shenko for say black stars in scout on.
so that $100,000, Linus, they feel say, most of the time, no, I am not because of maybe situation I a woman tea, obi had take sika $100,000. Na I be na first of all, let's all have a conversation. Those who are working as management committee members, they are not paid, not even allowances. So
Okay.
they are not paid. The World Cup is qualified every 4 years, and they are only giving that appearance fee when we qualify for the World Cup. Because World Cup na FIFA be is sika. It is sika bebrebe na be FIFA ba na atibia momo as appearance fee.
Okay.
And this is done every 4 years, not one day, not 2 days, not 1 month, not 2 months, not 1 year. 4 years. How many months do we have in 4 years?
Close to
You understand?
over 17.
48 months
Okay.
in 4 years.
48 months.
Into 4 years, no. So you me qualify for World Cup, they get something. You me qualify 4 years, na juma na we ni na ma bregu, they get nothing. How is this so difficult to comprehend?
So it's more or less like a voluntary job.
Absolutely. And the same Alaji Guza you use as an example. If you recall, before he started, having his differences with the FA, he defended the $100,000.
Of course. Yes.
What did he say?
Yeah.
It was a call Nigeria. You can qualify playoff. You Nigeria ko boy you bought 1-1 over. I the qualifier. You kunu akwa ukwa. Didn't he say that?
Yeah.
And there, me personally, I lost my wallet. I lost a lot of valuables. There in Nigeria, I had to remove. Luckily for me, make ono me share agbada.
Okay.
So I dressed like a northern Nigerian. So I was not easily identified. But they wear things like Ghana. They had to remove their things and put them in their bags. And walk for thousands of meters away from the stadium before they could pick taxis and go to their hotels. It was seriously dangerous. But Ghana went through that to qualify for the World Cup. And at the World Cup, FIFA gave Ghana close to $12 million. And the management committee members who had served for 4 years were given this amount of money. It becomes a big issue in Ghana. $12 million. And they were those who went to the battlefield to fight to ensure that we qualified. So media, me feel say Ghana for arguing almost $100,000 a dose one. We can have a conversation on it. But from where I sit, I feel that so far as the people have worked for Ghana to qualify for the World Cup, if they are also giving something at the end of the qualification, and yeah, AFCON every 2 years.
2 years. World Cup.
But then yeah, AFCON, this is World Cup. And within that 4 years, no, you qualify for AFCON twice, World Cup one. And you qualify for AFCON Mienu, World Cup Bako. And sana World Cup Bako na mwanya bibi. And you qualify for AFCON within that time, no, 2 million times. One qualify for World Cup, now you get nothing.
Okay. Well explained.
You get it. So I feel that yes, say I qualify for World Cup, no, na say you be criticize management, you be criticize coaches, you jump on them to ask questions as to why we couldn't qualify. See, it me qualifying at least. Let's also reward the hard work that they have done. That's what I believe in.
Sheikh, yeah, sure. Morocco, na me admanka this year, December, and they ever call Morocco for AFCON. It's me and qualify. I'm a AFCON. Obia Ebashi FA. Now, one decision I FA take here was to retain Coach Otuado. Osha qualifies now 6 matches, 2 draws, 4 defeats. I mean, nobody was happy. Nobody in Ghana was happy. But the decision of the FA to retain him, and the man Kofu Tempest rising more. What was that concrete decision? FA Gina Swaka said, let's maintain Otuado for the World Cup
Okay,
qualifiers.
so pick it from where Otuado was appointed. When the FA announced Otuado as the head coach, how many months was he given? 36 months. Close to 3 years and
Okay. Yeah.
and an option to renew for 2 more years if
Tomorrow.
it's so virtually the FA gave Otuado a long haul or a long-term contract because we want him to sit, build, then we execute.
Okay.
And when a coach is building a team, there will be challenges.
But 3 years near enough now, so it's my building. Solid team am I for World Cup now. Because World Cup in there,
Okay,
I
so
can bear 1 year.
so it's possible, but when you say it's enough, I cannot say whether yes or
No.
no, because sometimes 10 years crowd will not be enough based on the prevailing circumstances. Now, um, Germany, when they appointed Joachim Low in 2007, it took him 7 years before he won the
Before
World
World
Cup.
Cup.
When Senegal appointed Aliou Cisse in 2015, it took him 7 years before he won the AFCON. You understand?
Yeah.
So national team there, I am coaches Yamre.
Mm.
How long has Didier Deschamps worked with France as the head coach? Over 14
About
years.
14 years now.
World Cup, Yako how many times? Yako World Cup 3 under him. Or just
Oh, Ajibako.
I don't know winning, even with the number of years that he has stayed there.
Ajibako ko find up back
Uh-huh.
crowd man.
So it tells you it's not easy. You get it? For national team, you need a number of years. You need to be with the national team for long to be able to implement whatever you want to implement. I say from the last time I bought match in December, yeah, in December,
November, I
in
think.
November,
November.
November, December, December, January,
February,
February, March,
March.
Match. How many
Next
months?
month.
4 months.
4 months.
But oh yeah, clubber, they are training. Is that not it?
Yeah, yeah.
They are playing league matches. Is that not it? So clubs have time. National teams don't have
Don't have
time.
time.
So when you have a coach, you need to give him a long call to enable him to build. You understand? Into Otuado, no, when the FA assessed the report that he brought, the FA realized that yes, it's true there were challenges. And if we are to be very honest with ourselves, these Black Stars throughout the qualifier had a lot of challenges. In our last game, how many players were withdrawn? 8.
8 injuries and other stuff.
You better camp no man buy no says you can bear 4 almost free. Makeshift invitations. You invite player or back camp one day no
About
match.
match.
How do you build a national team like this? So there were a lot of challenges. But I believe that going forward, now that the challenges have been identified and the technical team has been strengthened, going forward, the FA, the Black Stars will be able to do well. The target is to qualify for the World Cup, and that's what we need every Ghanaian, to hope for. And we can only qualify for the World Cup if we support the team, regardless of who is there, regardless of who is the head coach, regardless of who is the technical advisor or whatever. We need to support the team. The target is to qualify for the World Cup. So we put every differences aside and concentrate on how we push the team to qualify for the World Cup. We need to be positive. We need not to hit the team with a lot of negativity. Right now, the FA announced a technical support staff. Then quickly, we have reports in the media say, wages say, wages say, wages say. What does it seek to do? It seeks to make people angry.
Angry. The more.
You get it. But elsewhere, go to France, go to Germany. How much that Didier Deschamps receive a month as France head coach? Do you know?
No, nope, I don't.
They don't even care about
Those things.
those things. What they care is about is
Get
getting
the
the
job
job
done.
done. That is what we must all be doing now. Let's think about how the job is done, how we get the results. That's the most important thing. As to then you bet you bika.
Of course. Oh, you
Yeah,
might be.
you know, say you know, yeah,
Mm,
but will be pacing be.
and yeah.
You get it. So then you bet you bika. But that is not the target. The target is how we get into the World Cup, and that should be our concentration.
Nice one. Sheikh, yeah, moving away from the Blasters, then share Queens, the Black Queens. No. Um, I mean, you qualify for women's outcome, but what unfortunate say one woman are all handle team no, no I have to. We are all happy with the way are now on handle team. We share progress now. And the only game we lose here was against Zambia. And then after some few days, but City said the FA was not able to raise money for some friendly matches. In Tenuka count, it prepared her to just move out and then go and sign for Copper Queens of Zambia. What happened? Was it said the FA was not able to reach an agreement with her? Say, ABR in terms of your salary and in terms of your incentive, but rather no, FA no moon anya attention the ama Otuado, but the women's football coach now or handed team we were not able to reach an agreement with her. What happened?
It's all about money. You understand? And if you have a coach and you pay her, let's take for instance 1 city. Offer no be any no, and I'll find as head coach. Utianica 1 city. Why are you perfectly? Obi the contract by 6 months to the end of the contract. I see. Okay, contract ni EU. The area na yanka. Yaka. Yabema say, or say menje. Yabema say, or say menje. Yabema 4 city, or say menje. Yabema 6 city, or say menje. One naka near Okan and say, I want to go.
Oh,
At the end of the day, what will you do?
oh. So one shall have tangible reason.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. And it was stated in the statement that if you out, we started negotiating with her to come to a conclusion on a figure that we want to give her. Because the truth is that if a employee Nora, national team near bind there. But yen Nora by. When we were bringing her, there were a whole lot of issues. Government was not ready to pay a foreign coach for the female national team.
Okay.
But we felt that that would be the best for Ghana. And yeah, then buy a buy will be here, man.
Well,
What's here? Come on. By the end of the day, also on renew contract now. You can't force her. Because yeah, person renewed, you started the negotiations earlier. And she said she's not ready to renew. No matter what you say, also on renew, you can't force her. So I think we all need to understand that that's how it is in football. You can decide to do whatever you want to do. If the person involved is not ready, forget it.
Sheikh, would you agree to this sentiment in Kofu making say when it comes to our junior national teams, they are struggling, especially the 17 and the 20. I'm saying this because the last time 20 Enya success was last year African Games, and then just last year, they were in Togo for the Wafu tournament. Omudi second, almost qualified for the AFCON Ebaso Ivory Coast. Nyami Adma this year, but your general overview of the youth teams, do you think say they are struggling as?
It's not true. It's not true. In 2020, U20, Yajiwaf, Mewa, Ewo
Yeah,
Benin.
yeah, Karim Zito. I was Niger. I was with the team.
Ewo Benin.
Benin rather, yeah. And
Ye free Benin, you call Mauritania.
Mauritania,
That was
yeah,
AFCON in 2021. Hmm?
yeah,
Yaji African Games, you qualify for AFCON
AFCON.
by winning silver. So, what about 3 competitions? What qualify two? Hmm? What qualify two? What we need the major competition one. What qualify for World Cup and a covered by one to me uncle. Is that a failure? 2 out of 3. Do you consider that to be a failure?
No.
U17. Yes, we've been struggling to qualify for the U17 AFCON. But look at the products that we are producing. U17 and U20, no, development phases. Yes, when we are able to qualify for the tournament, we like it. But we saw the team under Likensi, Lagos Stadium. Every Ghanaian was in love with the team,
Exactly. Yeah.
because of the way they play, their transitional plays, how they attack, how they build, and all those things. Ubia was in love with the team. But we couldn't qualify because Nigeria, Burkina Faso realized that Ghana is a free-flowing football country. And that was what happened. They were much more aggressive than us. At the end of the day, we didn't qualify. It doesn't mean that the team was bad. Currently, as we are speaking, we have 3 of the players who are playing in the senior and in the U20. You understand? Isdin is there, Kagawa is there, and then you have one other player who is also playing there. So at least it's progressive. Black princesses, Omaji Wafu, Omako World Cup within the period. You call Costa Rica World Cup, Omako Colombia World Cup, World Cup 2. Oma qualify for your friend is saying Omaji Wafu 1. They both Kumasi. So are they doing well or they are not doing well? U17 Emma, we had a ban from CAF. Now that the team is coming back, recently about Wafu Pram Pram, they won it. You understand? So it's not entirely true. Say the junior national teams are not doing well. They are doing extremely very well. But because the Blasters are struggling, that is why people are not seeing. It is the struggles of the Blasters and amount for by extension, I extending it to the other national teams. But it's not true that they are not performing. They are really doing very well. U15, Emmanuel Mema, Emmanuel Koji Gold, African Schools Championship, Nigeria. And Mema bronze, the same competition, U15, and Emmanuel Mema. Are we saying that the junior national teams are not performing? They are doing well. For the first time in 3 attempts, we qualify for the CHAN. Young qualified 2016, Young qualified 2018, Young qualified 2020, 2022. We qualified. We went there. We got to the semi-finals or the quarter-finals of the competition. I don't know whether it's the quarter or the semi. The quarter-finals of the competition. Are we saying the team is not doing well? So international teams, no, they are performing. The other national teams are doing well. Yes, there are challenges, but averagely, they are doing well. It's just that the Blasters is struggling. That is why everybody is simply concluding that the national teams are not performing.
What is the fit for Black Princess this year? Coach.
No, they have a coach.
They have a coach.
Yeah, they have a coach. A coach has been.
Oh yes. It's true. One male coach. Yes.
From Sweden. Yes, they have a coach now.
Is it said the FA doesn't have so much trust in our local coaches rather than going for expatriates?
No, it's far from that. It's far from that. We are looking for competence. So whether local or expatriate, so far as the competence is there, you'll be employed. I'm not FA your friend is saying Nora. Not gonna afford him no.
But at the
end of the day, we're happy. I'm not FA this one affair. We even have people wanting to free him. Who is he? Where has he coached before? Why do the FA go for such a coach? At the end of the day, this one has become the toast of every football person in the country.
My very good friend.
So let's leave it as it is.
Sheikh,
competence is the most important.
Exactly, that is the most important thing. Preparation is necessary for the FA ahead of your World Cup qualifiers. I mean, next month.
Yeah, following the announcement of the new technical team is part of the preparation. The announcement of the management team is part of the preparation. Currently, some of the management members and the technical staff are, visiting the players in Europe at their various clubs, speaking to them, getting them to understand why we need them to qualify for the World Cup. It's a big thing. And trust me, it will work. Inshallah, it will work.
But Sheikh, do you have a scout for the national team? That is the Blasters itself.
A scout, as in, you know, we have several forms of scouts.
Uh,
This is my
so
field, so
yes, I'm talking about somebody who tours Europe, look out for players who've not played for Ghana before but are excelling in their various clubs
no,
across.
I don't think in this era that is extremely necessary. The reason is that you can now even sit in your house and scout
Scouting
players.
player.
There are a lot of applications, there are a lot of, you know, platforms that you can monitor your players on. You understand? So the coaches monitor their own players. Thankfully, Desmond is good in that
Doing
area,
that, yeah.
and he's a performance coach as well.
As well, yeah.
So coming on board as assistant coach together with John Peter, they'll be able to support Otuado to get the results. I am highly optimistic about that. And here we are. We have coaches with a lot of experience. Wilfred Schaefer, for instance, has a lot of experience, and he coming on board will also be very, you know, influential for the Blaster. So um, it's not necessarily about having a scout, but it's about having those who are ready to work and get the job done. Sometimes it's not about the scout. When the coach even visits the players at their clubs, it's the level of confidence that it gives to the players is very enough. It's very important. And my players need feeling how important they are for their nations. Other players who know that their national team coach have come to visit them begin to value
Value.
the players,
Yeah.
you know, when they are playing
Exactly.
with them in the
Very
team.
true.
So those are some of the things. It's not necessarily about who is scouting or who is not scouting.
Sheikh, we are leaving. My very last question. It is not from me, but you are aware. Every Ghanaian is talking that under the current administration, football has been a failure. How true is that?
Wait. This question is a whole book.
Summarize
Okay,
it, Kakaba.
so it's not true, and I'll give you reasons. It's not true because the only reason is that the Blasters is struggling. Blasters a bobola. Obi abe refuse Ghana football is not doing well. Let's pick it from the club sides. Ghana Premier League. Last season we had two clubs getting to the group stage of the CAF
Half.
club competition for the first time in 20 years. Since 2004, Yentimin qualifying through group stage.
Second one, if
You have two
second.
clubs are more qualified. Baku Koya could do semi-final.
Yeah,
Does it
team
mean
sets.
our league is doing well or is not doing well?
It is.
Because it's one of the indicators to show the league is
Yeah,
doing
doing
well or
well.
not doing well. Yetimi Akwa could do semi-finals of the CAF Confederation Cup last season. And year one. Now, you come to women's football. Women's football under this administration, Yako CAF Champions League Emma edition, you drew final two times. And Pemdako and Azakis ladies. Wafu edition, Yaji Mienu, Yako, your friend is saying, Yaji silver, Yaji bronze.
Bronze back.
You know, will you say that the Women's Premier League is not doing well?
Very, very well. Doing well.
You get it. Look at how coast football is doing in this country. We have 1,555 coast clubs all over the country. And the FA provides them with footballs. The FA provides them with logistics, as in trophies, medals, and all those things for their various events. The FA gives the regional FAs monthly subventions of 10,000 cedis.
Wow.
RFAs are paid monthly allowances of 4,000 cedis for grassroots football development. Something we are seeing for the first time. So we will say that the FA is doing well in the area of coast football or not. Today, as we are speaking, and then I may publish a story on the GFA website about New Jobbing, Omo Coast League, U13, U15, U17. They are playing. In Kumasi, they are playing coast. In Ho, they are playing coast. In Bolga, in everywhere, coast football is being played. We and Ufriwa come to the national teams. I've already given you a chronology of events at the national teams and how the national teams are performing. So, administratively, look at the changes that have come to the FA in terms of departmental changes. Marketing department, finance department, you know, you go to the technical department, you now have the communications department, you have the audiovisual version, you have the test version, a whole lot. You go to Pram Pram, it's a whole new place now. The FA is now investing in its own, you know, infrastructure development. We in Congo, we have an academy there. Pram Pram is there. We have now established a relationship with Prempeh College where we have another academy at
Academy.
Prempeh College. What do we do again? So the structures are being put in place to ensure that in some years to come, we will laugh. But because the structures are now starting, that's why a lot of things are not being seen. But trust me, anybody who says Ghana football is dead, it's not following events. Because if indeed you follow events, you come to realize that it is not as you think. It is because Blasters are not performing. But let the Blasters begin to win matches right now. We'll be able to kind of footballer. That's how it is.
Sheikh, yeah, that's it. Who rate FA now on a scale of 1 to 10?
No, you can't ask me to mark myself and expect me to give myself a small
You are
mark.
working as somebody, so maybe a
No, no,
general.
no, no, no. That one is it's not a fair question. You know why? Because you won't ask me to mark myself for me to give myself below 8 or 9. I
So
don't do
we
that.
should allow people to
Exactly. Let us do the work for people to judge
see.
us. And if you ask us to judge ourselves, then we will say that we are flying high.
Thank you very much. It was for Sheikh Tophic, and I'm in the Common Airline or Snappy TV, so YouTube, or a senior communications manager at the Ghana Football Association, or a trained coach, trained teacher, communication specialist, video analyst, or something Islamic and Arabic teacher. So, about Quran recitation now is the best so far me I've seen in this country.
Miss Rel.
Michelle, subscribe to the channel, no like, share. Now for comment here, then ebu ase na yebe kinkan ama. Na me adum so next month the Blasters will resume their World Cup qualifiers. Yebe eji mu say you throw your support behind the new technical team no. I need the FA no na obetumi ayede. Obetumi my football so akosi ama. Echi bia. Bye bye.